So this is GCSE Higher. The topic is bounds, okay? But the specific section that we're going to go through is something called error interval, okay? Error interval is from bounds, and what it is almost always we make sure that we round the numbers to a certain degree of accuracy. For example, I've picked 3 different sections of questions here. So a number y is rounded to 1 decimal place, or rounded to 2 decimal place, or 3 significant figures. So these are what we normally round the numbers to. So what happened here is, so there's this, the answer is being given to us as this is the number that's rounded to 1 decimal place. So the original number ranges from a lowest bound to an upper bound. So the range between these lowest and upper bound is the error interval. Okay, and how we calculate this? So this is a typical 2-marker question on a higher paper. So we take the value that they rounded to. So they round this to 1 decimal place. So whatever that is, we half it. So 1 decimal place, it's 0.1 as a place value. And if you half it, if you divide it by 2, you're going to get 0.05. Okay, this is the process. We take what the number has been rounded to, we half that, and that's 0.05. So in order to find the error interval, the error interval is basically your number is right in the middle. So the answer that you found is 5.2. You have a lower bound and you have an upper bound. Okay, so what we do with the 0.05 is we subtract a 0.05 in order to find the lower bound, and we add a 0.05 in order to find the upper bound. Okay, so the number is 5.2. They're calling this y. Normally in the exam, what they do is they give you an inequality set. Sometimes they don't, they just give you a blank space to write the answer. The upper bound is always less than. There is no line underneath. This is greater than or equals to the inequality sign. The upper bound is always less than. So you have 2 values here, and they will ask you to state those 2 values. So all you are doing is subtract 0.05 from 5.2. So you're going to end up with 5.15. And then add 0.05 to 5.2. That's going to become 5.25. Okay, it's always between these 2 values. So what we're saying here, this is your final answer, by the way. That is the error interval for 5.2 rounded to 1 decimal place. So if I round, this is the lowest number 5.2 can be, including this number. For the upper one, it can be anything less than 5.25. Okay, it can be 5.24999 reoccurring. It can't be 5.25 because if you round that, that's going to be 5.3. But anything up to that point, but not including. That's how we normally write the error interval. The inequality sign is always like that. Okay, this number is always what you can get to, but not that. Okay, so let's do the second one. So the second question is asking us, this number has been rounded to 2 decimal place. So what we do is you would write down the place value. 2 decimal place is 0.01. We half it. The answer is going to be 0.005. The number is going to so you have 2 different values here. So the lower bound and the upper bound. To get the lower bound, you minus the 0.005. To find the upper bound, you'll plus the 0.005 from here. So if you minus the 0.005, you're going to end up with 1.505. And if you add 0.005 to this, it'll be 1.515. Okay, if you round that, that's going to be 1.51, and then just before all the values from 1.515, when you round it, you'll end up with 1.51. Okay, so they're asking 1.514 reoccurring, or 49 reoccurring. So this is our final answer. Okay, and then for the last question, again the same idea. So it's 3 significant figures. So the place value is going to be 0. 3 significant figures is basically, that's the 3rd place value, which is the 2nd decimal place. Okay, always look at significant figures, always convert them into, okay, is it a decimal place, or is it a units or tens or hundreds? So always convert that into the required decimal place or place value. So this is 0.01. okay, second decimal place, we half it. And that's going to be 0.005. It's the same as what you had before. So you need to minus 0.005 and you need to add a 0.005. Okay, your answer is in the middle. So that's going to be, they're calling it x. Whatever they call it, you keep it that term as it is. Okay, so that's going to be, you do not have that symbol over there, so it's less than. 3.69, if you minus 0.005, it will be 3.685. If you add a 0.005, it will be 3.695. Okay, so this is the answer for error interval for these set of values. Okay. So the other question they can ask you is a number y is truncated to one decimal place. I'm going to go through that in another video, but this is also part of the, truncating bound sort of questions. All right. Thank you for watching.